Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and J-Chains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and J-Chains.
Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite podcast. Here we are, episode 35 of Beards and Bitcoins, joined with my co-host J-Chains. What is up?
What is up, man? It's been a week since we talked last. Pretty excited about today, I got to be honest. Looking forward to speaking with Gary.
Oh yeah, so we got a special guest with us today, Gary Leland. Welcome to the podcast. He does not have a beard, but we're going to let him slide for the day. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do in the crypto space.
Well, before I do that, I felt bad. Y'all were both in a barber shop, so I made myself a barber pole so I could kind of fit in. Okay,
so that's good.
I'm just going to have this back here the whole time I talk.
Just don't turn it sideways.
We can make like I'm in a barber shop. But
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
But I run, I do a lot. I'm a media producer for the most part. You know, I do a little mining and I do a little trading, but I'm pretty much a media producer, content producer. I produce the Crypto Cousin Show, which comes out once a week. We're on episode 92, I think, right now. Before I got on here, I was supposed to be interviewing McAfee, and he no-showed me. So that's why I emailed you or messaged you and said, hey, I'm through early, you know, and then I produce daily, every weekday, the 4-minute crypto show. And that's just one news article every day that I do a video about in 4 minutes or less. And that's a video and audio. But, you know, on that show, my big listens come from Alexa and Google Home. That's where I really get the big numbers at, is on those two devices. And then
so they're good for more than just spying?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
I just turn mine on when I want to like hear like all my shows so I can get some numbers. And I walk out the house. And get them both playing if I hadn't listened to them. And I guess they play all day and I get 500 downloads.
I got a big secret I want to tell everybody right now. I like all of my own videos. Just so you guys know. One of those likes is me. I pump my numbers hard, baby.
There you go.
So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with self-promotion, dudes. I mean, you know, there never has been.
The president votes for himself, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm definitely sure he does. Yeah. You know, so that's my main deal, though, is content creation.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah, we're gonna get a little more into that. We're gonna be talking about a conference that you have going on. What's the name of the conference?
BitBlock Boom.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. It's a Bitcoin conference. We're going to get into Bitcoin maximalism. We're going to go down all kinds of rabbit trails today. But yeah, we got a really crazy thing going on today in the markets. Everything's red. It's been a while since everything has been red. And I thought that, you know, people are in a little bit of a panic today, which you guys are probably listening to this tomorrow, which would be today. Anyways, don't worry about it. The fact is right now it's a red day. And I will get you both of your thoughts and opinions on what you guys kind of think is going on. Like, you know, should people be panicked? Should people be relaxed? What do you think the posture, you know, investors should have right now should be?
I personally, in my personal opinion, days like today, we all know where Bitcoin, where crypto is going in general, right? It's not going away. So I like these days personally. It's just like going to a garage sale. You know, it's go find the coins that you like and get them 5% off or 10% off, whatever your coin is dropping, scoop up some more. Average cost down, or however you like to do your thing. But me personally, that's what I think of it. Don't panic sell. And if you need to sell a little bit to make some money, I get that. But this is not the end of the road for crypto. So that's how I see it. What about you, Gary?
Well, I guess if you can just remember a month ago, I mean, you know, where we were at a month ago, and then go look at where we're at now. If you look at it in those lights, you'll go, wow, we're really up high. But, you know, you want to look at the last 24 hours, you know, you can go ahead and sell at a loss, I guess. And then next week, go, gosh, you know, I lost out because now I have to rebuy at a higher price. And if you owned for instance, 500 BNB as an example and sell today, then next week you only got enough to buy 450 BNB maybe.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know. I don't think there's anything to worry about right now, even if we had it for a week or two. Like I said, just remember a month or two ago, and you'll put it in perspective.
One thing that people always have to remember is that you've never actually lost money until you sell.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, your position may be down a little bit, but you haven't lost any money. So just keep the faith, hodl with your strong hand, and keep it alive.
Well, you know, if you've been hodling since it was 19,000, if you bought in the January of 2018, you've done some mighty strong hodling, and this isn't gonna bother you.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, I think a lot of those people basically, like my grandpa, for instance, my grandpa, he put in $3,000 the very, very, very peak day of the market. You know, like the very, very worst possible day he could have put in and put $3,000 in. It's worth probably about $200 right now, you know, maybe $300. But he hasn't looked at it. I actually control his Binance account, and I haven't even logged into it to look in God knows how long. I mean, a year, you know, probably somewhere around there. So, you know, but I've said this before, and, you know, I definitely believe this is true. For those people that did buy at the all-time highs and did not sell and have actually, you know, as we like to say, hodled, I still think they're going to make money on that, you know. Now, where the trouble comes in is if they were overextended on loans or, you know, whatever the case might be, credit cards, then you really don't have the leverage to keep hodling because you're going into the hole, making the payments and stuff like that. But if you put cash money in, you know, at the all-time highs, I still believe you will actually come out way ahead if you just hold on for the next few years. It reminds me of where we're at right now. Reminds me of, I don't know if you guys watch football, but a couple of years ago, you know, Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback of the Packers, they had like 5 games left in the season. They had to win all 5 games, you know, and he was just telling them, I don't like Aaron Rodgers either personally, but anyways, he was just like RELAX or X, RELAX, relax. And that's the way that I see crypto right now. Like just relax. You know, anytime you ever look at a bull run or any kind of market movements, you're going to have ups and downs. You know, you're never, even when we had those parabolic moves, people forget that it was dipping before it was going up. And so, you know, I'm not saying we're about to go parabolic tomorrow or anything like that, but you know, it's just part of the cycle. Yeah, it would be nice, you know. So,
what would be nice about it? Then all those people that for the last year that's been giving us a hard time, we can go, "Yeah, I told you so."
I can't wait.
Oh, there will be a moment where we can tell a lot of people, "I told you so."
Yeah, just to be going, you know, "Oh, yeah, I told you so." And the money wouldn't be bad either.
I worry about the psychological health of people that know me once Bitcoin goes way above where it's ever been. You know, like here you are, you've had somebody in your face, friends and family, someone that you trust to some extent, some people more than others, of course, you know, but and you didn't listen. You know, you had somebody in your face saying, this is the future, this is the future, this is the future, and you miss out on it, and you had somebody begging you to be in it. And I think there's going to be, and, you know, not just my family, but a lot of people out there, you know, probably are going to feel that same way when they have someone they know that's really into crypto and they just don't listen. So,
hey, there was this is a perfect example. Like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, my wife and I were having dinner with another couple of mine, and I was telling him about Bitcoin. We were just talking about it because he knows I'm into it. And he goes, "Well, I'm going to get into it, but I just can't do it right now. I got my money tied up in something else." And I talked to him while we were down in Blanco, Texas. He called me while I was walking down the street. And he goes, "What's Bitcoin today?" And I said, "Oh, it's 4,500, 5,000. I can't remember what the price was at that moment. It was a couple weeks ago." And he goes, "I thought you were going to tell me when it was time to buy." I said, "I did. We had dinner, and I told you it was probably time to buy." And he said, "Ready?" He said, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And I said, "Well, it's still a good time to buy." And he goes, "Okay." And he didn't buy. But, you know, yeah, so it's kind of like that same situation. Yeah,
I've been seeing you talk time to buy, and I've been seeing, and I don't follow these accounts, nor do I follow really anybody's word. I do a lot of my own research, but I've been seeing a lot of people saying that maybe the bottom's not in yet, and we might see it go down to 3,000. I saw some guy saying that it's definitely I think some stupid comment.
That was insane.
It blew my mind. Like 90% confident that it's going to dip to like 1,000 or less. Like, what planet are you on, man?
Well, is Tone still saying it's going to dip? Tone has been big on.
Well, he's saying like, let's see what happens with his language has been changing a little bit now. So, I think at some point he was saying 1,200, right? I mean, I think that was his number at some point. And now he's saying, okay, well, where we're at now, let's see what happens when we retrace. Let's see if the $4,000 mark holds. So, for Tone, that's actually pretty bullish, kind of language when he's not saying like we're going down to 1,000, or whatever. Now, of course, he's not bullish at all on altcoins, period.
Right. No. He definitely is not bullish on any altcoin. But if you just keep buying, to me, it's buying averaging. It's just a buying opportunity, and I guess that's the difference between being a true believer. I mean, if you really believe it that much, it's like the guy that's been hodling since January of 2018. That knows it went down. If you're a true believer, this isn't going to bother you this week or two. Even if it drops to $3,000, I'm not selling. I'm just going to ride it out.
If it drops to 1,000, I'm selling kidneys.
So you only got 2 of them, dude.
Well, I'll figure it out.
I wouldn't sell kidneys. I'd sell kidney.
I think I meant to say 1, but the 2 came out. We'll figure it out.
Okay. I'm going to come hang out at Jay Chains' house again. He's going to wake up in a bathtub full of ice. That's all I got to say. With kidney scars on the side,
Yeah, in a bathtub of ice is fine, but there better be some Bitcoin in my account.
You saw people that were buying all that big crypto on credit cards and stuff when it was at that high. You're right. You said it earlier. Those are the people that really took a hit because either they had to sell to pay for their credit cards or they've been getting eaten up, if they had to put it on their credit card. I'm not a real big believer in putting things on credit cards to begin with, much less investments that I can lose my money on. I might put it on my credit card, but I plan on paying it off when the credit card bill comes. If I can't, then I wouldn't do it. But,
Yeah, I definitely read some horror stories about people that, like for those of us that didn't put a bunch of, loan money in or, buying on credit and things like that. I guess it didn't really make sense to me why those people would be so much more wrecked, but somebody laid out a real life story of, he took a huge loan out, like $100,000 at the peak of the bull market, put it in Bitcoin. And now, it's hardly worth anything, especially when it's down, around 3,000. I mean, it would have been worth, probably somewhere around, maybe 15 grand or something like that. But yet it was a short-term loan. I think it was only like a 2-year loan or something. So he's having to make like freaking $10,000 a month payments, on that loan. And I mean, I'm sure he had to file bankruptcy. And of course, also, when a bunch of people made a bunch of money and then didn't pay their taxes and now they owe taxes and have no money. So a lot of horror stories going out there. So you guys just be careful, with, your investments and things like that. Make sure, when people say, make sure you could lose it, or what's the how do they always say it?
Don't risk more than you can afford to lose.
Yeah, exactly. So people that goes in one ear and out the other a lot of times, but you really got to think about it like that. So, well, let's move on to our Monarch token crypto Twitter shout out, brought to you guys by Monarch Token. You guys know Robert Beatles was on the show last week. We talked a lot about Monarch. We have a little contest going on right now. We're only picking the winners for that, Jay Chains.
I think that we could probably do something next week. Sometime next week is my birthday. I'm not really sure when. So it'll be like a little celebration. On your birthday? Yeah, my birthday's on Tuesday. We record on Wednesdays, so we'll figure it out, something like that.
Yeah, so we'll announce all the winners next week for that contest. But Monarch.
It sounded like a plug for my birthday.
It did.
Are you having a party?
Yeah, no, not at all. Like I'm going to be 37.
Afraid nobody was going to show up.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest age in the world. Like don't even wish me happy birthday. Like I'm not excited about this one.
Oh God, that's right. You'll be getting to that age before me because we're like basically the same age. Yeah. So. Well, yeah. So anyways, Monarch's got a lot of big partnerships. We talked a lot about their partnership with Bitcoin Cash or, with Bitcoin Cash going on there, on the Monarch wallet. And it's very interesting. If you didn't know a lot of the history behind Bitcoin Cash and things like that, make sure you listen to the show from last week because we really got into it. We talked about Roger Ver. We talked about all kinds of stuff with Beatles. So make sure you give that one a listen. So who are you guys shouting out this week? Jay Chains, who you got this week?
I'm going to shout out our buddy. I think he's been shouted out before, Fomobi. You can find him on Twitter at Fomobi, FOMO by Dick. FOMOBYDICK. He recently got me chit-chatting with some guys that do the Note blockchain.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool setup. I mean, it's like super easy to use. So, we've been I've been on the Discord. We've talked before that Discord's really not my thing. It's a little too technical for me. But we're talking with him about it, and sending out some. I'd won some contests like 750,000 notes. So because he got me into it, so what I've been doing is every couple of days I'll put out a post and send out some notes to people and just kind of get more people involved in it. So thanks to him. So shouting out for Moby.
Yeah, definitely. Good friend of mine also. I love that guy. So
and he's a fellow Texan.
That is
now, you can't go wrong there.
Represent, right? Because Gary, Gary's a fellow Texan.
Hey, I've been here since 1979. My family, my kids, my daughters are 30 and 31 or 31 and 32. When I had been here over half my life, they had a big party and said I was officially a Texan because I lived here. That was some rule. I don't know if they came up with it. They found that on the net. So according to my kids, I'm officially a Texan.
Where are you from originally?
Charleston, South Carolina. I grew up on an island called James Island.
Yeah.
So,
me and my wife did our honeymoon there.
Did you? Yeah, I used to.
Well, we
go back though. It's expensive to fly into there for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's a smaller type airport. Well, what happened is that's kind of actually a funny story. Why we went to Charleston for our honeymoon? We were supposed to go to Washington D.C. It was like a Christmas wedding, So we were going to go to Washington D.C. They got my wife always wanted to go there and see the monuments and stuff, and they have all kinds of Christmas lights and all kinds of stuff up there. And the morning of my wedding, I wake up and there is a blizzard in Washington, D.C. And they're saying there's no way that we would be able to get there. So I spent the entire morning of my wedding, I'm supposed to leave supposed to get married at 2. I spent the entire morning trying to reroute our honeymoon and all kinds of different stuff. And I always tell her the only reason I didn't have cold feet is because I didn't have time to think about it. I spent the whole morning. I'm not kidding you. I did not even think about the wedding. I was just trying to get refunds on plane tickets and all kinds of stuff. So it was a nightmare, but it turned out good. So Charleston was a nice city. We enjoyed there. So who you got this week, Gary? Who are you going to shout out?
I'm going to shout out to Pierre Rochard. Pierre has been very helpful with my conference, BitBlock Boom, on Friday night last year and Friday night this year. Him and Michael Goldstein or Bitstein host the Satoshi Nakamoto dinner, which is like the biggest steak party you've ever seen in your life. So they had to kick us out of their restaurant last year. So I'm sure the same thing will happen this year. So he's been very good to me. So I'm going to give him a shout out.
Nice. I know Jimmy Song's also going to be there, right?
Yeah, Jimmy's going to be there. Tone Bass. Gosh, it's a pretty good lineup.
I know those guys all throughout the year, they do crazy meat dinners, these crazy.
But that's what we have Friday night.
Okay.
Symphony and the Moose will be there. And I think Saturday Night Safe's got somebody's house that he's cooking out on a grill, showing people the proper way to cook meat. But they're carnivores. I mean, they're carnivores. That's all they eat is meat. That's it. That's all they eat. And I don't know exactly what the relationship with Bitcoin and carnivores are. There seems to be one. I hadn't understood where it comes from, and that's fine. I don't care. But last year it was at this great restaurant, like a 5-star restaurant. And who's the guy who had the patent on or made the gun, the printable gun? He got arrested. Yeah. He was there.
He's from Austin. I know.
He paid for the wine. Wine was all night, just flowing. I mean, it never ended. In that restaurant, it wasn't cheap wine, I promise you. And it was never stopped flowing. I left at about 10 because I was driving. I made a mistake and drove there. So this year I'm catching an Uber. But that's a different event. That's not even my event. So I'm not promoting my event when I promote that. That's their event. It's going to be a hell of a party. And you got to apply to go to that. You got to send in your Twitter feed, your LinkedIn, and they look at you to make sure you're a Bitcoin person, not a.
Oh, wow. I would not qualify.
You can't be an altcoiner. You got to be a Bitcoiner to be able to even go to that dinner.
Scrub the account.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's a hell of a party.
Beards and Bitcoins. That's the name of our podcast. I'll have to go under the podcast. Well, that is cool. Well, glad you shout out Pierre because that actually ties into my shout out here, which I'm going to shout out at CTMZ_live. Now, it is the TMZ of CT. So it's the TMZ of crypto Twitter. Basically talks a lot about all the drama going on and things like that. I was told that they actually launched the channel based on my little spat with Crypto Finally that we were talking a little bit about before we went on air, because we made up and made a little video together recently. But they said by the time they got it all going though and they launched it, that it had been too long since we had our little Twitter beef or whatever. So, but we were on the show yesterday, me and Crypto Stash and Crypto Brecky, to talk about the Bit Bus. A lot of misinformation about the Bit Bus out there. That's some kind of money grab, or we're all like charging for autographs or something. It's nothing like that. It's basically just going to be a fun time. We're going to be riding from LA to San Francisco for the Bitcoin 2019 conference. J-Chains is going to be there. We're trying to talk Gary into going as well. But Pierre is on the bus. So definitely pretty cool. There's been a lot of memes on about the Bit Bus. People have been, running with it a little bit on Twitter, making it a short bus and all kinds of different stuff, because there's a large part of crypto Twitter that just doesn't like seeing people do positive things. They don't really understand it. But, it was good to get on the show yesterday and really be able to clear up misinformation, because, while they say any publicity is good publicity, I don't really believe that per se. I mean, I guess
I'm a big believer in that.
Bottom line is true, but I have a real problem with people spreading misinformation. Like, if there's things about someone or an event that you don't like, that's okay. You can talk about those things. But to be misinformed about what the event actually is, and to then spread, misinformation based on that, then that's just stupidity. And that really bothers me. So I was glad, even though I don't know if anybody actually, who's been making fun of it actually listened, because I saw some stuff yesterday, but it was a good opportunity to be able to get out there and talk about the Bit Bus. It's a really positive thing. It's going to be really fun. We don't think we're some kind of Twitter celebrities or anything like that. It's just coming to hang out and building community. So, big shout out to
like a good deal to me.
That's
when you were telling me about it.
That's the thing. It is a good deal. You actually cannot go cheaper. Now, I think Gary said you might have a ticket from the conference already. If you don't have a ticket to the conference and you live in the LA area, there's no way that you could go to this conference, pay for the ticket, get up there via, bus, car, or plane, and stay in a hotel cheaper than the package we're offering. So, it's a way to save money, so maybe you can go.
And there's a swag bag. We're going to have fun. I mean, it's just fun. I think, when you talk about like there's some negative comments and maybe a misrepresentation of the whole thing. I think we have always talked about that stuff like that just comes out of envy, right? I don't like to use the word jealousy. I don't think that's the right word. I think it's envy, right? That maybe they can't get there. It might be someone that's living halfway across the world that, damn, I wish I could do something like that, but they can't get there. So instead of really kind of thanking people in the community for building something to give someone an outlet or a way to get to this conference, they'll tear it down because it's just built out of envy. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way people are.
Yeah, I just don't pay any attention to people like that. I really don't care. I don't pay any attention. Yeah, I used to be 360 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I used to do a lot of videos for softball. My daughter played softball, and I coached softball. And so I did a lot of videos on softball. I have a fast pitch TV. I must have 3 million views, 4 million views over there on that channel. And people all the time would get on there and going, "You're a fat POS." And so I just delete it. And after years of that, I got to the point I don't care now about anything. Now I weigh like 200. I lost 100 or 150 pounds. So, I think I got pretty tough by all the people insulting me personally, which my weight size had nothing to do with the content I was giving out. Whether I was big and fat, which I was or not, it was still good content, but it was, it kind of hardened you. And like I said, I don't think people need to worry about that stuff anyway.
No, it's all that stuff's just built out of insecurity and envy.
Yeah, I think some people just enjoy tearing people down. I think it makes them feel better, So, why accomplish your goal and make you feel bad?
I've said a lot that I feel like most of the disagreements that happen on Twitter are because you have people that are 30 to 40-year-olds trying to reason with people that are 16 to 20 years old, and we're just on two totally different wavelengths. When I was their age, we would have been on the same wavelength, and it would have been the older people that I, couldn't really understand. But because there's all these like kind of faceless cartoon avatars on Twitter, you don't really know the age of the person you're dealing with. And so sometimes you feel like you're dealing with some reasonable people, but you actually aren't. So it can be pretty frustrating sometimes. I've always got to fight this battle because like I'm real bad about wanting to correct people all the time. It drives my wife crazy. Like she'll mispronounce a word and I'll be like, "What did you say?" So like I've got this thing. It's like I like to correct people. It's a thing I fight. It's a flaw, I guess. So when I see people like saying stuff on Twitter about people that's like factually inaccurate, like it drives me insane. So it's really hard for me to resist.
I have to fight a lot. And I bet you guys do have to fight the same thing. Like if you're sitting down, you're just minding your own business, you're with a group of people, like friends, old friends or something, and someone comes up to you and starts asking you about Bitcoin, and you start talking about it, and they seem a little interested. Next thing you know, you feel like a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah,
you're going, oh my gosh, I need to shut up. This guy's probably never going to invite me back to this party again. So
I just did it yesterday.
Yeah, so I really, when I go to someplace, I try not to ever bring it up, and I try like to non-crypto people, because I know once I get on my rant, so I'll be a Jehovah's Witness or a Bitcoin witness.
Uber drivers are the best to do that too, though.
Well, they seem to know their stuff. A lot of them I run into know what Bitcoin, and they have for a couple of years now. Oh yeah, I know what Bitcoin is, so they seem to be able to get involved in the conversation. So it's not really the Jehovah Witness moment. I'm not trying to knock Jehovah Witnesses, but they are always pushing their product. This is why I use that. So I have a good friend who's a Jehovah's Witness. So I don't have a
we all know what you mean.
Yeah, but they push their product, and that's the way I feel like when I start talking about Bitcoin to a non-Bitcoin person.
And it's so hard. It's like you want to talk to them about it, but you quickly see like they're just like little babies, and you're trying to feed them a steak. Like you're trying to feed them something they can't possibly process. So like I had some headshots done yesterday. I'm going to use for some of my thumbnails. And for so finally got some professional.
Are you going to be signing those on the bus? Is that what those are for?
Gosh, no. I'm the cardboard cutouts is all I'm going to sign. So
okay, that makes sense.
God forbid I were to ever actually. So there's actually a project right now that talked to me about. They're trying to do like, I don't know, influencer signatures or something. They actually like want me to sign some stuff. I'm like, gosh, this is so weird. I don't know. Like I would never just do that. Like be like, hey, $10 a signature. That's so stupid. I'm nobody. You know what I mean? But
people are interested in signatures anymore. I don't see much of that. It seems like everybody wants selfies now.
Funny you say that, because I'm actually heavily involved in the signature business, because I have another business where I sell signed football helmets. So
I own minihelmets.com, the small football helmets. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I own Mini Helmet and Mini Helmets is one site. I have tons of, you wouldn't believe my autograph collection of people, of real autographs. But I just don't see people now. And the reason I say that is back in the 80s and early 90s, if the Dallas Cowboys were staying at a hotel and you could go over there and get a helmet signed, there were tons of people there, and you'd always see people getting autographs. But now whenever I see that same kind of situation, everybody's getting selfies, not autographs. So I see a lot more selfies than I do autographs.
The autograph stuff is just purely a business now. So, the players, they might sign, like at Falcons training camp and stuff I go to every year. I used to live like 5 minutes from it. We've moved now, so I don't know if I'll make it up there this year. But, they always do signatures after practice and autographs and stuff like that. So for that, it's cool. Like I got my Matt Ryan jersey signed, a Julio football, different stuff like that. But the helmet business is like purely a business. And, they like different players won't even sign different kinds of helmets, because like, some they'll only sign if it's an actual NFL helmet and things like that. So yeah, it's always weird to me though, because like I'm not big on collectibles, or I'm not big on, like, to me it's kind of silly. Like, hey, I'm a grown man, you're a 25-year-old athlete. Hey man, I really want to stand next to you and take my picture with you. Like, I don't know, it just feels like a little weird to me. When I was younger,
I see that. I'm just saying I see that. I'm not saying I want to get my photo taken with him, but I see that a lot. But when I used to do autographs, my kids used to do it. We got like
everything.
Ali, we got Roger. We got everybody. A lot of people we got are dead now. We get this many people, but it was like people would go to you and they go, "Are you selling this?" And I go, I remember Joe Namath asked me that. He goes, "Are you selling this?" I said, "No, you can make it out to Gary. I don't care."
Yeah.
I mean, he goes, "Okay," but something most people don't realize, that if you're getting a photo, because I hung out with people who did this hardcore for a living, and they would call me, Joe Montana's at a hotel or whatever. We had a guy with American Airlines that would go through first class and see who was landing, and you could just go to the airport and catch him catching flights or whatever, going from one plane to another. Anyway, really, really big professionals, they will get 8x10s. And if they say, "I got to personalize this to you," because they want to make sure you're not selling it, they'll say, "Make it out to Al, A-L." First of all, Al is 2 letters. Both of them are uppercase letters. And then, so that means it doesn't go down into the signature. And then you can go home and take acetate, wipe it right off the painting, the picture, the Sharpie. And so you've got the autograph, even though they tried to, and that's what they do. So you'll be surprised. I mean, a lot of people, they're not Al. They just want something that's 2 letters and uppercase. It's a little tip there if you're trying to get autographs. Get you some acetate, a photograph, and be Al.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. I could tell you all about the helmet business. We talk about this for days, but let's actually move back to crypto. Let's talk about your conference. You talked a little bit about BitBlock Boom Conference and kind of the pre-event with Pierre and stuff like that. But tell us about the conference. Give us the lineup. This is your pitch. This isn't a sponsored video or anything like that, but I want to give you the opportunity to talk about your conference. Why do you think that it'll be a good conference that people are going to want to attend?
Well, it's going to be a repeat of last year. Was our first year. We had a great conference, and it was during a super bear market. Now we have kind of like, it's not a super downward spiral market, so it ought to be pretty great. But we have Tone Vase, we have Jimmy Song, we have Pierre Richard, we have Safety and Moose, we have Michael Goldstein, we have, and I know I'm leaving out a lot of people, but it's a one-day conference, and it's one speaker after another. There's no questions. Just one speaker after another, because everybody at the conference stays, because it's limited to 125 people. So everybody who's there, Marty Bent's there. I'm just trying to think of names, but when people speak, I'm not letting them ask questions this year because Safety is going to be there a whole day. Jimmy's going to be there the whole day. Just go over and ask him the question when he gets through speaking. I don't want to hear, and you wouldn't want to hear him go, "Do you think Bitcoin is going up?" and waste my time hearing that answer. Or, what's the best wallet? I mean, just go ask him when he's there. So that's all day. Then the night parties were great. And then Saturday we have Sunday we have Bitcoin brunch. And that's from 10 to 2. And that was the best part of the whole event. All the speakers were there. Last year, I think, well, not all the speakers. One of them, I think, wasn't there. But everybody else was there. Almost every ticket we sold has included a ticket for the Bitcoin brunch. Everybody who I've ever talked to who went to that, or who has interviewed me, who was at it, or who I've heard talking about it. I was listening to Marty Bent's show yesterday. Him and Nick, who spoke last year, both of them said it's the best event they went to last year. And it's one of the only ones they're going to this year. I had no one who didn't have anything but great things to say about it with the bear market. This year is going to be even better. The lineup's better. Everything.
The funny thing though is that the price is actually lower this year. the price is actually lower than last year, but
it's lower because it's early still, but it goes up every 2 weeks.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. So
no. I mean the Bitcoin price.
Oh yeah, yes. Right.
Yeah. Right. Last year you said we were in downward spiral, and we were, but the price was way higher than it was right now. But
exactly right. But it's the perceived what Bitcoin's doing, and people are. And actually, by August, it's August 17th and 18th. By August, it could be higher. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you never know. And it's in Dallas, right?
It's in Dallas. It's in Addison, actually.
Okay.
It's BitBlock Boom is the name of the conference. The website is bitblockboom.com. And I'll give everybody a code. If they use the code BEARDS, they'll get 30% off.
There you go.
The price. So I'll set that up when we get through talking. So if they use the code BEARDS at checkout, they'll get 30% off the price of a ticket. But if they go, the tickets for the brunch are going to sell out. That's really limited. There's only 125 people coming, and the brunch is less than 125 people. So that's going to sell out. Last year, the brunch was kind of new, and we didn't push it properly. So we were selling brunch tickets the day of the event. I won't have any brunch tickets the day of the event. So they're going to want to go ahead and get a brunch ticket. I think it's like an extra $50 or something for brunch the next day. So, but then, like I said, they could go to Pierre and Bitstein's event Friday night. And then I think Thursday, there's someone who's having Bitcoin and barbells, a workout thing with Bitcoin. I'm not sure what that is. And then Friday, there's 3 people getting together a bullets and Bitcoins, where they're going to be at a gun range all day. Because a lot of people come in to Texas and they haven't even shot a gun in their life, where they live at. So they're getting right now a shooting range, and they're going to have that. And I think Saifedean is doing there's a lot of things going on around the event. In other words, Saifedean's doing a thing Saturday night where he's cooking, showing how to prepare meats. And if you don't know who Saifedean the Moose is, you need to read the Bitcoin Standard. That is the best book I've read this year. That is just a great book if you want to understand money. I mean, that's the deal. Have either one of y'all read that?
I've not read that. No.
You need to read that book to understand what money is. It's mind opening. I mean, even if you just get the audio version and listen to it.
I listen to an audiobook. I'm not a huge I don't sit still a lot, so I'm not a huge sit down and read a book kind of. It's funny because my kids, are 3, 5, and 7, so they're these really pivotal reading years, and it's like, Dad, you don't like to read. I'm like, yeah, but when I was your age, I did. There was a time in my life where I read a ton of books, read a lot of novels and different stuff. I used to love the Interview with the Vampire series. That was a good one.
Do you like Nancy Drew too?
No, Interview with the Vampire was pretty hardcore stuff, man. That was.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
No. I mean, they made a movie about it.
I quit reading a lot by then and was listening to audio by then, I think.
Yeah. So
audio version of Facebook. I just thought it was a great book, man. Because I'm the same way. I can't sit still long enough to read a book, but I listen when I'm in my car.
Yeah.
So driving to work or driving. When I was going down to Blanco, that was great. I got to listen to 6 hours worth of content on the way there and back.
Wow, that's like a few podcasts for us.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about. What were you gonna say something, Gary?
I was just gonna tell everybody you need to go check out bitblockboom.com and remember the code BEARDS. Because you're gonna enjoy yourself. I promise you. It's a great conference.
Yeah.
We'll send out a post that'll have the link to it and with the promo code and all that stuff. So if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Well, let's kind of talk about Bitcoin maximalism for a minute, because it's kind of a hot topic these days. A lot of people have been talking about it. And I feel like what I've gathered by talking to a lot of people that are self-proclaimed Bitcoin maximalists is that Bitcoin maximalist doesn't necessarily mean, I think, what I thought that it meant. In a lot of ways, even though I like other altcoins, I definitely have some attitudes about Bitcoin that fit into that, which is, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is going to be number one. It's not going to ever be knocked off. It's the first mover. It's what all of this is based on, that we do here on a daily basis in the crypto space. Bitcoin had to come first. It's going to last. They're going to continue to develop it. It's going to either, in my opinion, it's either going to replace gold or replace currency, one or the other. But I also believe in a lot of altcoins too. I think there's plenty of room. So, where is that line for a maximalist in your opinion for okay, this person counts and this person doesn't count?
Well, I think a lot of people are really more of real hard money, good money maximalists. And you do have some people who are super hardcore, like what we talked earlier, Tone Vase. He's a Bitcoin maximalist to the core. He doesn't believe in any other coin. I personally, I don't have a problem going and picking up some money and making some money off of a 2-week investment if something I think is getting ready to do something and pop. So I don't have a problem. But I think Bitcoin, you have two kinds of people looking at Bitcoin. You have people who think Bitcoin could be MySpace and that Facebook is going to come along and be another coin. Then you have other people who think Bitcoin is gold. And by that, I mean the fact that gold isn't the hardest mineral to mine. Gold is not there's not less gold than there is a lot of other metals out there. There are a lot of metals out there that there's less of than there is gold, and a lot of them that are a lot harder to mine than gold. I mean, my gosh, they've been mining gold since the Incas and they hadn't run out yet. I mean, are they ever going to run out of that stuff for being so?
Not when we start space mining.
Yeah,
we've talked about that a few times on the channel. That space mining.
They haven't even run out yet on the planet. Forget about the space. I don't think they're going. I haven't seen anyone going. I've seen people going, we're going to die in 12 years, but I haven't seen anyone say we're running out of gold in 12 years. That's not even close to happening. So gold is not necessarily the most limited product is what I'm saying, but gold is the standard because it was first. Basically, that's why it was the first and it was the best known, and it claimed that spot, even though other things came along. And that's how I think most Bitcoin maximalists feel, is that gold, Bitcoin being the first, claiming the spot, has got it, and that's why it's going to become the coin, because it was first to market, kind of just like gold. When Isaac Newton said, I'm inventing the gold standard, he didn't know about some of these other metals maybe. But they came along. They sure didn't take gold's place, So,
yeah,
I don't know if that made any sense or not. But
no, it didn't make any sense. Me and Jay Chains were like looking at each other like, no, this guy, he doesn't. No. Seriously, I totally understand what you're saying. I think it's a great comparison. I mean, also when you take into consideration, like I personally feel like Bitcoin has a lot better chance of replacing gold than becoming the world currency. I've been doing a lot of research on Bitcoin Cash lately. If you can separate out what, the things about it that you don't like, if you don't like Roger Ver, if you don't like all the drama, if you don't like all that stuff, really what they were saying when they forked it, it's just been so fascinating for me learning more and more about this is, Bitcoin isn't going to really be able to get to the point where it's going to be able to be quickly transferable, that's why they made the bigger blocks. That's what Bitcoin Cash is. Bitcoin Cash's goal is to actually be digital currency that you could walk to a place, scan something, and it goes through immediely and things like that.
The Lightning Network starting. Are either one of y'all running a Lightning node?
I'm not. I'll speak for
that's
Jason.
fine if you're not. I mean, it's new. It's new. I just set mine up.
Oh, did you?
I want to. I need to learn more about it. I mean, I want to, but
that's why I set it up, was to learn more about it. But that protocol is coming into place, and people are starting to buy stuff with Lightning. But I agree, Bitcoin itself, you're not going to walk into a place and go, I don't foresee anytime soon going, I'm going to use some Bitcoin, and I'm going to buy this baseball bat and wait here for 6 confirmation for an hour. And I think Roger Ver did himself more harm than good, trying to tell everybody his was Bitcoin. If he just said his was Bitcoin Cash and never brought up this mine is Bitcoin, I bet you Bitcoin Cash would have had a much quicker adoption.
That's exactly what I said last week on our show, Crypto Beatles, which is, if he would have literally, even though this name really triggers him, if he would have just named it Bcash, just call it Bcash,
What? He did the same thing to Bcash that we just talked about half an hour ago. Don't get upset at people. And he goes off the wall on Bcash. I thought it was kind of a cool name, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's like, oh my gosh, and all this stuff. So, I think he did himself more harm having the Bitcoin.com website, being Bitcoin on Twitter, saying it's Bitcoin. I mean, people see, and I don't think it takes a rocket science to realize someone's going to buy Bitcoin Cash thinking they're getting Bitcoin.
I know someone who did it.
Yeah, and you can say, oh, it is Bitcoin all you want, but
it's not.
It was Bitcoin, and there's still Bitcoin over there, and you can call it whatever you want to, and something else comes along. Maybe it has more of the properties Bitcoin was originally meant to have, but it's still not.
Well, the whole thing is, they base that on the title of the white paper. The white paper itself. Didn't you edit that, Jay Chains? Never mind. We won't even touch that joke.
Proofread. I proofread it.
Proofread.
Satoshi.
No, he was.
You have a vision, I bet, don't you?
This is a long troll.
I got horrible eyes. I've got horrible eyes.
Let's not get into it, even though I brought it up. But they base that on the title. Peer-to-peer digital cash. And so, or electronic cash, I think is what they actually use. Peer-to-peer electronic cash. And that is the basis for, why they're trying to change Bitcoin into that. But I mean, really the white paper was about so much more than just that one aspect of Bitcoin. So I don't know. I got to be honest though. Like I said,
saying it doesn't have more properties. I'm just saying he screwed himself more than he helped himself.
Agreed.
Oh,
100%.
And that's all I'm saying. And if he had just come out and said it's Bitcoin Cash, and he could have still called it Bitcoin Core, but because of the way he did it, I think he got more people against him than he did for him.
And he's done a lot of great stuff for crypto, And so this one thing, if he would just change this one thing, which he could change tomorrow. He could make the Bitcoin handle change. He says he's not in control of it, but certainly there's some kind of ties there.
Yeah.
The BTC subreddit and also the Bitcoin.com website, which he is in sole possession of. If he were to change all those things tomorrow, then I think the sentiment on Bitcoin Cash would turn around overnight. But he's so adamant, and I think
happening. He's too.
Yeah, he's in too deep now. At this point, it's in too deep. But I've certainly learned, enjoyed learning a lot more about it and the reasoning and things like that. So, yeah. So you were saying about, Bitcoin possibly, or Bitcoin being looked at by maximalists similar to the way that gold was looked at in ancient civilizations and stuff like that. What do you think, Jay James? What do you think the line for Bitcoin maximalism is?
I think, I don't know. It's just like one of those things that it can be confusing, or you take different perspectives into it. I think ultimately the store of value of it is where it will be. Again, like you said, it's not going to become a world currency. I just don't see it happening, but I do see it replacing gold. Especially, and not to echo, but I'll echo what we just said. Once we start mining in space for gold, someone had said that there's enough to give the present day value like $1 trillion in gold to every person on the planet.
Well, it's not 9 billion, but
that's all irrelevant, because I promise you, if someone goes up into space and they get this big giant rock of gold, they aren't telling everybody that they got a big giant rock of gold. They're going to slowly feed that into the supply. It's kind of like Beards and their diamonds, or whoever those people are. They got more diamonds than there is people to wear diamonds. But
That's
they
true.
control that substance because they don't want to drop the price. So they control it. And that's the way whoever would have the money to go get that asteroid of gold is going to be smart enough to know that they don't want to lose their investment. So,
well, the interesting thing about it is that the gold is actually not the reason for the space mining. Now, that's like obviously, a big thing, there's that much gold, but there's a huge asteroid, and this is not conspiracy, like this is real, this is not like some kind of conjecture. There's a huge asteroid floating around. I think it's either Jupiter or Saturn. I can't remember which one it is, probably Jupiter, I believe. And we are actually going to run out of a lot of precious metals. We're not going to run out of gold in the near future.
The
but
rare one.
Yeah, but the rare ones we are going to start running out of. And a lot of those rare metals are what, they use to make like those little boards for your phone. Like the more technology we get, the more advanced we get, the smaller the pieces need to be. And a lot of those are from a lot of these precious metals. And so eventually we're going to run out of those on Earth. And so they're going to mine the asteroid up there. Now, some people think it's not even possible it won't happen. We have a mission going up there in 2021 to investigate it. And they say it might be 20 to 40 years before they can actually do it. But, definitely very interesting stuff with the space mining. We love talking about this. I love space mining. I can't wait till
I would, if anybody ever presented me the opportunity to go into outer space, to go spend a few months on a space station, to go be part of a test society going out there, sign me up. I would love to go to space.
Not me.
I'm going to space.
Do you guys think we went to the moon?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I know.
Do you?
You do. I doubt. It's not that man, we've been lied to so many times. I don't think so. I think there's been lied to.
Which time?
By our government?
Yeah, which one? What were we lied to about?
Probably assassinations by moon landing.
Saying probably? Like, give me one. Give me one legit, like, big thing we were lied about. We were spied on by our government. Like, okay, Edward Snowden. I'll take that one. But
there you go. Perfect. I'm not letting anybody into my mind right now. So
you know why I think we went to the moon? We are terrible at keeping secrets.
100%.
We went way too many times. If they were going to pull that kind of BS, they had to go on once and said, we did it, it's done. They wouldn't have kept going back over and over and over and over. They went like quite a few times. It's not like they went once. Yeah.
No, just once.
We've only landed once, right?
No.
We've only put people on there one time.
That's not true. No, that's not. We put them on there several times.
Gary, we're gonna have to edit this out. we're gonna have to edit this out so people don't hear you saying this. No,
really, because I was under the impression we went to like more than one time.
Look it up. No, we're the only country who's ever been, and we
I know
only
that.
went one. Yeah, we only went one time.
I don't believe that.
I think we sent some other, rovers and stuff up there, but we only put people on the moon one time. And that's the big argument, right? Like, if we only put people up there one time, why have we not gone back? And it's funny because like this weekend for Easter, my family, we celebrate Easter. We're Christian and stuff like that, So when
there were 6 manned U.S. landings on the moon between 1969 and 1972.
He's right. That's what
I don't know where y'all coming from. I was a kid at this time. I remember all this stuff. This happened when I was like 14.
This is that misinformation. That's
what I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If we
did they
faked
get out?
it, do you think they would really go 6 times?
Did they get out and land on the moon, or did they orbit?
No,
or
manned missions to the moon. They went to the moon 6 times.
Yeah. Well, landings and numerous. Now this is Wikipedia, so I could go on there and make a bunch of shit up, but it says that there's no. Yeah, there've been 6 manned U.S. landings between 69 and 72, numerous unmanned landings with no soft landings happening from the 22nd of August.
This is what everyone says about the moon. They say we've never gone back. So that's
what
all
I thought.
Well, I was a kid. I remember all this. I remember us going to the moon.
I wasn't born.
Yeah, but I remember that's why I said, and that gets to my whole story. That now you're going to have to edit this so y'all won't look bad.
Oh my God, now we're the idiot. Oh my gosh, Gary. I was feeling sorry for you, and now I'm feeling sorry for us.
But, they could not keep this good of a lie. They can't. If they did it once, there'd be like a 50-50 shot they could keep it. 6 times they went and kept going, they'll never figure this stuff. Let's keep making like we're going over and over. I mean, sooner or later, someone's going to go, that thing never went up there. The Russians or somebody's going to see it.
Well, why can't anyone else figure it out?
Well, they probably could, but what's the point? There's nothing up there that we want.
The Chinese are on the dark side of the moon with a robot,
Are they?
So it's Pink Floyd, man.
Yeah. They just landed like a month ago a robot thing on the dark side of the moon. Supposedly, if you want to really watch the stories that are like the conspiracy theories, they found something on the dark side of the moon while they were going around it. And so they quit announcing they were going to the moon. And they've been going to the moon secretly because they found a moon base on the dark side of the moon. That's the real conspiracy stories.
That's deep.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in this thing called Occam's razor. You guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically where the simplest solution is usually the solution. So the simplest thing is that we just went. That's the simplest thing. There's so many things that have to go in. So I don't know. Here's the whole thing. If we never actually went to the moon, then space mining is probably never going to happen. And who knows? Maybe we live on a flat Earth. But
what about the? Go ahead, Gary.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
What about the dumb thing where everybody says there's no gravity on the moon? Well, why the heck does the flag wave in the wind?
Well, the flag has a stick holding it. It's like a L. It's there's a rod sticking out top, and the flag hangs on the drape. It was when they put it up. I saw them putting it up. It was like that. It was flurled out even when they were picking it up off the ground and hanging it.
Fair
enough.
My
family, I'm the only person in my family that thinks we went to the moon. I'm just going to say it like that. That's what I learned over Easter weekend. And they were bringing up all kinds of this stuff, about we only went once. And the flag, they also bring up the fact, they said, like, when you watch Neil Armstrong put his foot on the moon, you see the dust fly up. But when the ship is landing on the moon, with the thrusters on, the dust doesn't move. So I don't know. Somebody recently said.
So how'd they get a camera? There was a camera on the moon before they landed, watching them land. I don't remember that.
I don't know.
So they sent a camera up there and say, "We want to film this."
Gary, here's this is why I'm kind of uneducated on this, and why I thought, I just listen to my family. I listen.
Well, like I said, that's the best argument there is to say, well, why'd they fake it 6 times?
Yeah.
Well, ask a woman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Oh.
But yeah, so they were saying bringing all this stuff up, and I'm just like, I just think we went. I think we went. Somebody was recently interviewed and said, like, can't remember who it was. It was somebody famous. Maybe it was Elon Musk. I can't remember exactly who it was, and said that, like, it would have actually costed us way more to fake it than to actually go. So I don't know. I believe that we went. I think it just continues the misinformation that spread about this. I think it just continues to drive home this point that I've been talking about a lot recently, which is like, YouTube is an echo chamber for conspiracy theories, and anything you want to believe, you watch 6 to 10 videos about, and you'll start to believe it. So,
Yeah.
I stay.
Insisted that there was more than one landing, and
You were insistent. Oh yeah, you were insistent. I mean, I'm gonna have to look into that a little more though, because we only have footage. We only have footage that I know of Neil Armstrong on the moon. I don't know if we actually.
They're all filmed. They're all on TV. I mean, I saw them all. They didn't take. I don't think they took the little robot car they drove around. That didn't go on the first mission. I don't think. I think that went on maybe the second or third mission. The first mission, they just got out. He hit a golf ball. They jumped around, did the flag, and then they brought the car later. And they drove the car around. I don't know why they brought a car. How far? I mean, they didn't even go very far in the car. I mean, and you could jump 50 feet. What do you need a car for when you can jump 50 feet?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like a video game. Rough terrain, I guess. I don't know. Well, yeah. So once again, as we love to do on the podcast, we have digressed into a realm of fantasy and non-crypto that we like to go in so much. But Gary, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been very, very enjoyable, talking with you. And we definitely look, and for you guys that don't know, Gary's sitting in right now, if you guys are watching on YouTube, sitting in his studio, and me and Jay Chains are in talks with Gary to get ourselves recording in person Beards and Bitcoins here in the pretty near future. So, we'll probably have Gary on again. So in the future.
And sorry if I took it off the subject a lot. I mean,
oh man, it was perfect.
No.
Yeah,
we like to chat. We like to chat.
By the time we're on here next time, I'll have the studio be finished. So I'll give you a tour of the studio.
Yeah. Well, we can do it in person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna be flying out to Dallas from Atlanta. I've already been looking at the flight. It's pretty cheap. I can go $200 round trip pretty easily. So
that's not bad.
No,
that's what's crazy is that, I mean, for me to fly would be something similar, but I'd like to take the bus round trip. It's like $99 each way, so you can fly for the same price as I can take a bus.
Do you take that mega bus?
It's called Von Lane.
That's the expensive one. The mega bus is cheaper.
It's probably like $20 or something each way.
Nah, it's like 50.
Jay Chains, I thought you were the bus expert.
I
that's
am.
What he does. That's what he does for a living. He's the one who actually arranged the bus for the Bit Bus.
Oh.
I do. The company that does Megabus, I don't like Greyhound or Megabus. It's kind of the lower tiered service level.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't stop anywhere though. It's a straight shot.
True.
Yeah.
True. I'd probably will fly. It's a little bit nicer.
I haven't flown the other one because the Megabus stops in Grand Prairie and I'm in Arlington, so it's 5 miles away. The Von Line or whatever is in North Dallas, and so it's still another 30-minute drive to get home.
Yeah, but for the price on the Von Lane, there's an attendant, so you get soft drinks, snacks, refreshments, stuff like that. So it's a little bit nicer of a service, and granted, it is more expensive, but you get what you pay for. I'm a firm believer of that. And being in the transportation game, I would 10 times out of 10 spend a little bit extra.
I didn't realize you guys were actually putting together the Bitcoin bus deal.
Well, it's Crypto Stash. Who
so
you
all are shilling this? You guys?
No, we're not. No, we're not shilling. We're not making any money off of this. I mean, at best, we may get our hotel rooms paid for if we sell the bus out.
I want to go. I think, but I already got a ticket. I don't want to buy a ticket.
Well, I think we got all kinds of packages. We can get you set up on the bus. And you already have your ticket. So, and that goes for anybody, if you don't want to pay for your hotel or you don't want to, get a hotel, the same hotel we have or whatever, I talked to somebody and he's like, oh no, I only stay in the W or something like that, So, we got packages available and stuff, but it's really just about hanging out and community.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a great time.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm flying in from Atlanta for it. I'm definitely going in the hole on this trip for sure. So people that are, saying we're like, selling, pieces of our hair for $200 a strand and stuff like that. They're just not informed. But
wow.
Yeah, but we look forward to seeing you there at the Bit Bus. Hopefully, if not, we'll definitely see you at the conference. What do you think, Jay Chains? You want to send us out today?
I can. Yeah. Make sure that. Well, Gary, real quick before we do that, where can they find you on social medias?
Easiest place to find all my crypto stuff is to go to cryptopodcaster.com.
Okay. Cryptopodcaster.com?
Or go to GaryLeland.com. But GaryLeland.com shows you a lot of stuff you're not interested in probably. So just go to cryptopodcaster.com.
Softball helmets, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, just everything I do, which it can take you forever to go through all that.
Cool. We'll post the link so that people can find you, and if they've got questions on podcasting, crypto, your conference, all that stuff, they'll be able to find you. But make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link, we'll post it all over. We are running that contest with, or it's a giveaway with all the Monarch gear. There is $200 or $100 in Bitcoin Cash, and if you want to show them your little water bottle, BitBoy, we're giving away a couple of those bad boys.
Nice.
The flow. So, Gary, thanks for spending some time with us, man. It was fun.
Hey,
We look forward to it again.
I enjoyed it completely, and I'm sorry that I had to show you dudes up on the moon stuff.
Win moon.
Oh,
Right.
Win moon. Now.
when Lambo, win moon.
Yeah, well, they ought to change that to win Tesla, I think.
Nah, I'm not. Don't get me on my Tesla rant. We're at the end of the show. We'll do the Tesla rant.
I don't know if I can get into a Lambo. Those aren't very big cars.
I want a Lambo personally, but previously to wanting a Lambo, a Ferrari would have been my car. So because of crypto, I've now changed over to a Lambo. But I'm a sports car guy. I've always had sports cars. I got a V8 Dodge Challenger Hemi right now. So that's what I ride. Had a Camaro before that. So. Obviously that's a big step up. Probably going to go to the Hellcat next. That's probably going to be the next one I'm going to go to before I go to the Lambo. So
yeah, I'm ready for a bull run. I'm sick of driving my wife's Volkswagen Touareg.
God,
Poor guy.
So, all right, guys. Well, we will see you guys next time. We got IOST coming up here pretty soon, probably on Monday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. So you guys be on the lookout for that, and we will talk to you guys later.
All right, see you next time.
Adios.
Thanks, Gary.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.